Right, we're now walking on the old Clipstone Branch with the Mansfield Concentration sidings on our left hand side, and we're heading north towards Clipstone Junction. The track was lifted around 2012 and the last train along here 2003. There's some remains of some yard lamps. Former colour light Charlie 214. When we came here a few years ago, the ID plate was still on the front, but obviously it's gone since then. Right, leaving signal Charlie 214, just going to head a little bit further north towards Clipstone Junction, where there is another colour light signal still in place. We've got some remnants of former post and wire signalling equipment. Obviously these were taken out of use when the colour light signals were put in place. Still got the pulleys in place. No markings on these, unfortunately. Sometimes they have a BR marking, but nothing there. The bits and pieces that is lying on the track bed. This is a BR 093 dated 2001, which would have sat underneath a rail chair on a sleeper. If someone can tell me what number this signal was, I'd be very grateful. Obviously Charlie 214 was behind us, maybe this is Charlie 213. You can clearly see the ident plate is gone from this one, but it shows the feather as well. Some trunking coming out towards the signal. Line side boxes still in situ. north towards Clipstone Junction. Just going to make our way back towards the concentration sidings. There's remnants everywhere you look. Here we have an old fish plate.
How heavy is that?
I don't think you want to carry that about here. It's quite heavy. Ooh. Ooh. Oh God, no, you can't take that. I must. That's huge. So we're heading off the main line, which is just there to my left, and this would be the entrance to the Mansfield coal concentration sidings. And the first thing we hit is a piece of a sleeper with a chair in it. And it's dated 1972. There's a BR mark on it, and it's still got the plastic ferrules, and it's one track bolt is well in there. So we're going to have to keep an eye out also for deer. There's lots of deer around here, and we've already startled a group of about 7, and there you can just about see a yard lamp as well. You can see that up there. That's now sort of being reclaimed by the trees beside it. There's a few of these still standing in these sidings. And we have another old yard lamp. It's not the same one I just recorded, but that is in the trees here. We've sort of come to a bit of a dead end in the throat of the concentration side, and so we're going to wander down the main line and see what we can find down here. So just to my right hand side would have been the Mansfield Concentration sidings, just over here, but it's mostly being recovered by nature now. And to be honest with you, we've already stumbled on a group of 7 stags. I don't particularly want to be walking along and they suddenly pop out at me and give me a heart attack, so to speak. So we'll stay on the main line for now. And when we see something of interest, we'll record again. So we're making our way down the track towards the old listed water tower, and on my right hand side we've got the concentration sidings that were taken out of use in the late 70s. We're looking north towards Clipstone Junction, but on this side of the track there was another set of sidings. Now these go up, so they're elevated, so we're just going to quickly clamber up and try not to fall over. It's a bit dewy. Right, so this area was closed a lot earlier than the other side. Now all this area here, this was all sidings as well. Now with the main line to my left over there, these go up. Now if someone can tell me what year these were taken out of service, I'll be interested to know. So all this land here, this is an area that was sidings as well, and you can see there is an earth bank here as well. There's a few remnants laying around here. There's some old sleepers and bits of ballast sort of laying around, but obviously this area was taken out of use a lot earlier than the sidings on the other side of the track. So we'll make our way back to the main line, and we're now going to try and find remnants around the old concentration siding signal box and see if we can find anything left at the side of the track down there. So we'll make our way back onto the main line. So we're still walking south. We've got the later concentration sidings on my right hand side and the earlier concentration sidings on my left hand side. Now this former track bed was the main line. Quite a few remnants of ballast everywhere, and as I said, once these sidings over here run out, we should hopefully come across some remains of railway if it's still there, because we know that the water tower, which is on the right hand side, is still there, and that is listed. So the sidings are still here. I'd imagine they're going to come in any minute and join the main line. So once we find the area where the signal box is, we'll come back to you. Right, now the sidings, the older sidings, are now cutting in here to the main line. So any minute now we should be coming across remnants of possible signal box and bits and pieces. Now, looking at early photographs, there was a brick construction before the signal box. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut in now and see if we can find anything in here, because we're now kind of in the right area. So here we go. We've got remnants of sleepers here, bits and pieces here. So let's start hunting. So here's our first clue that we're kind of in the right area around the signal box, as we seem to have a lamppost in the middle of nowhere.
Bulb missing.
Yeah, the bulb is obviously missing. So we are now in the right area. The main line is literally just to my right there, and behind me it kind of goes out to the older sidings. So we are still walking south. So that's an interesting find. So as you can see, we've now got to scramble through all these brambles, because that's what we do, us railway explorers. Ow, I'm getting pricked already. And okay, I don't know if I can get through here. It's a little bit dense. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back onto the main line, which is just to my right, and then I'm going to cut in where it's not so prickly. Right, I've gone about 20 yards further south, and we've got an embankment here on my left. And we're looking for clues. It's very coaly round here. Okay, I can see some bits and pieces already. Okay. Got posts. We've got a rodding stool which is buried in the area. We've got the remnants of another lamppost here. It's been cut. Obviously used to pivot so you could change the bulb. Now I've seen a photograph of a brick built hut, and I think this must be the remnants of it. Yeah, there it is. This isn't the signal box. The signal box is a bit further down, but this is obviously some kind of mess hut or a permanent way hut. It's built into the bank here. It's definitely a structure of some kind. So that ties in with a photograph I've seen of a brick building. This is obviously the remains of it. Oh, hang on, right, go back on the main line because I've just seen something about 20 feet south of that brick building. We've got this massive, massive concrete lump. And it's got a hole in the middle. Now, very interestingly, whoever put this here, whoever built this, stuck their handprint into the concrete. So that's just by the main line. It's an interesting find. Okay, so we'll try and stay within distance of the bank here. The bank's up there with the boundary fence on it. I don't know if you can see the old boundary fences up there. So where this bank goes down, there, we should hopefully find some remains of the old signal box. So let's go back onto the main line for now. See if we can find anything else. So we're still heading south on the main line. So now we should be in the area of where the signal box was. Now it was mounted on brick pillars. So there should be some clues around here somewhere. Oh my god, look at that. We've got an S&T cable block just there, still in situ, still on the ground, still in the ground, I should imagine. I mean, they're usually about, if I pull that hard enough, that'd probably come up. Right, so there you have it. That was still in situ, an S&T cable. Now, we found one of these a few days ago when we rescued it. So I'm going to put this one back in its hole. But I'll just record it so you know what it looks like. At the moment I'm being buzzed by some kind of mosquito or a fly. That gives you an idea of what these are like. They're around about 10 inches long and about 10 inches deep. And that was still in its place. So that is still to be found in the area of the former signal box. So we're now looking for any more clues of where the signal box was. I'll just put that back in its place. So yeah, I'll put that back in. So if someone wants to come and get that and rescue it, that's up to you. So we're now in a kind of a embankment where the ground has gone down. So we're just looking for any clues of the former signal box now. So I'll just pause. Oh, hang on, what have we got here? You try and pause and then there's something here. We've got a rotting stool right under my feet here. And Adam's got a fish plate. So there's a rotting stool there, still in place. So there you go, I just took the moss off the rotting stool there. And you can see where the pulleys were. That's still in situ, so there'll probably be more along here. So let's keep hunting for remains of the signal box.